forgot to bring my actual camera, so I'm a dum-dum. So this is my phone, so if I'm looking at myself, I'm sorry, I need to be looking over there. I'm at Barnes & Noble, and I'm picking up Midnight Sun. If you don't know what Midnight Sun is, it is basically Twilight, but it is from Edward's perspective. So also, you've probably like, well, that sounds familiar. Well, Stephenie Meyer was writing it a while back, and like somebody hacked her computer and like released like half of it. Like she had written half of it, and they like shared it, and Stephenie Meyer was like, you know, basically, you know, screw you, I'm not finishing it. So we've had like half the book for a long time. I never read it because I always thought maybe she would finish it, or I don't know, I didn't want to read I don't know, I was just skeptical about it. That's why I never read it, because Twilight used to be my all-time favorite books. Like that's what got me into reading, was Twilight was like the first big books that I read, and I was like, I can actually read big books. So anywho, we're here. I had to read where my bookmarks are for quitters that my boyfriend's mom made me. I thought it was fitting to wear this, but we're at Barnes & Noble, and we're gonna go pick up Midnight Sun. Don't know if I'm gonna film much in the store just because I'm kind of shy like that, but we'll try. Also, I wanted to show you guys. If you see this, it's not real. Obviously, it does not look real at all, but it's an ink box. But I put it on last night, and it takes like 24 hours to get completely dark. So right now, it's going through like the awkward, like it looks blue phase. But anywho, let's go get Twilight, and then we're gonna go home and probably start reading it or do some school. Because guys, I don't know why I'm so excited. I don't even know why I'm still filming. Like, I need to go in. As soon as I shut my door, that was gonna happen. Alright, I'm actually on my camera now, but let's just dive into this. I was hoping something would be pretty on it, but it just is like this. Ooh, okay, okay. Alright, let's read this. This book is dedicated to all the readers who have been such a happy part of my life in the last 15 years. When we first met, many of you were young teenagers with bright, beautiful eyes, full of dreams for the future. I hope that in the years that have passed, you have all found your dreams, and that the reality of them are even better than you hoped. Ooh, table of contents, first sight, open book. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually, okay, I don't know if this is going to be a good angle. It probably isn't, just because I put you here. I'm going to go ahead and make some lunch because I'm honestly starving. Then we're going to sit down, read this. I think I'm going to try and read. I could get like 2 hours of reading in and then do school. I'm trying to justify reading for school right now. Like, I don't know what to do. And then I'm going to try to make this a whole reading vlog, like reading Midnight Sun and giving you guys my reaction. So I don't know if this is going to be like a one-day vlog, if it's going to be a 1 week, or till I finish the book. Hopefully I can read this in a week. Wait, also, before I go, I just want to clarify some things. Also, before like I get into anything, I read Twilight, oh my gosh, I don't even know how long ago. Was that like freshman year of high school? It's been probably a solid 4 years since I've read Twilight. Like, I can't even remember how long ago I read it. That's how long ago it was. So there's probably a ton of tiny details that I have forgotten. So if you guys are watching this video and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't remember this happening, or I don't remember this, listen, it has been a fat minute since I've read the books. I've literally watched the movies this past week like probably 3 times each. Like, I started on Twilight. Actually, I started on Breaking Dawn, and I watched them backwards, and then I watched them forward, and then I just watched, like, I think I watched New Moon and Breaking Dawn again, whatever. So I've been watching Twilight non-stop, so I know the movies, but, like, little things in the books. It's been so long since I've read the books. I probably should have reread them, or at least should have reread Twilight, but nobody's got time for that. I have other books I gotta read, like Midnight Sun. So I'm gonna eat salad, start reading, and if I start doing clips of like, oh my gosh, I don't remember things, don't come after me. It's been a fat minute since I've read Twilight. Alright, so I just finished eating and I read chapter 1 while I ate, and I just want to say a couple things. So I read chapter 1. Oh, so I was jumping up on the bed. And like, I knew, like, some of the things I was looking forward to was, like, I wanted to know where he went. So that's, I haven't gotten there yet. But, like, right now, after chapter 1. Also, if you haven't read Twilight and you don't want to be spoiled, probably don't watch the rest of this video because I am going to be kind of giving some spoilers away. So after he meets Bella, you know, he leaves for a while he leaves. And, like, Bella's like, I wonder where he went. Why did he disappear? Where did he go? Is he ever coming back? Blah, 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 blah. Like, I was looking forward to, like, that part, which I'm not there yet. But, like, I never thought about, like, yes, we're going to get to hear his thoughts and some of the other people's thoughts. But I didn't, like, ever really think about, we're finally going to get to think or hear what everybody else was thinking. And it's kind of weird. Because it's like, oh, now, like, we get to get a more perspective of, like, their personality now because of what they're thinking. I don't know why that never occurred to me that we're, like, most of this book is going to be hearing other people's thoughts, not just Edward's. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know why that didn't occur to me till now, but, like, I think that's really cool. But, yep, I read chapter 1. So far, I am loving it. Also, another thing that I never really thought about was, so, like, they're in biology. Bella just walked in. And, like, when you read Bella's perspective and when you watch the movie, so book and movie, it's like she thinks that she smells wrong. Like, she smells bad. And she's, like, smelling herself. And I think in Twilight, she's like, I used strawberry shampoo or something. Like, because I just used my normal strawberry shampoo. It might not be strawberry. But, anywho, that's what she's thinking, like, is something wrong with me? Do I look bad? Do I smell bad? But the reason why, and then I thought, well, Edward's just, like, you know, disgusted by, he just wants to, like, bite her so bad. Like, that's why he's, like, in such agony. But it's not really so much that he wants to, like, drink her blood. It's the fact that he's ashamed of being a vampire. It's not so much the act of it, it's just, like, because that's who he is, he's disgusted by himself. And that's why he looked like he was, like, in disgust with her. It wasn't because of her. It wasn't because he wanted to sink his teeth into her. It was just because he hated being a vampire. That part, he was like, that monster that's inside me. He's, like, disgusted by the monster that he is. So I thought that was kind of cool to think, okay, he wasn't actually just wanting to drink her blood so bad. He was so disappointed in himself. So that was kind of cool. So that was, like, my little side note for that. But yeah, I'm going to read for another hour, and let's see if there's anything else that kind of occurs, and I'm like, wow, never thought about that before. Alright, so I just read chapter 2, and so this is where we kind of pretty much find out where Edward goes to when he leaves for a week. And to know that, like, Tanya kind of had a thing for him, I was not expecting that. Whenever I saw that, like, oh, he went to Alaska, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But, like, I wasn't expecting the Tanya thing. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. But we are on chapter 3 now, page 50. Zora has come to say hi. Hello. Pretty much that far into it. Does Jacob interact with Edward in this one? I'm really trying to think of the book and not the movie. I think, because we don't hear anything about Jacob really, because that's with Bella. He does. Does he? Yeah, I think we'll get a little bit of Jacob in here. So I'm really interested on how Edward's thoughts are going to be about Jacob. Like, what are they really going to be? Oh, and then we get to hear Jacob's thoughts. Oh, that's going to be so weird. So, yeah. Also, I don't know. I haven't, like, really looked into it because I've been so busy and, like, Twilight has kind of been on the back burner since ACOTAR has happened. Do we think she's going to rewrite all of the books from Edward's perspective? That could be cool. Guys, he's gone a long time in New Moon. Like, he's basically gone the whole book. So, like, that's going to be intriguing if she does end up rewriting it. I don't think I've read or heard anywhere that she's going to. I think it's just going to be, she's just going to have Twilight rewritten. But if she does, I wonder what New Moon's going to be like. Comment below, what is your favorite Twilight book or Stephenie Meyer book? Here are all of my beautiful Twilight books. I have read Life and Death. I never read The Host. I never got around to reading The Host. But here are all of my children. We have my Sarah J. Maas, my Twilight, my Harry Potter. My favorite section is right here. But, oh, and this. This is what I'm going to read next. Fun fact. So after I read Midnight Sun, this is what I'm going to read. Alright, so I'm going to do a little check-in. I'm on chapter 7, so page 146. I'm this deep into it. I just read this one part, and it was talking about, like, he's going to Edward. He's going back to their house, and he's just talking about, like, what everybody's kind of doing, like, Jasper and Emmett are playing chess. So Esme's upstairs, blah, 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 humming over a set of blueprints, blah, 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 designing something new. And it's like, it's weird to think, because we all love the Cullens house. Like, it's always been like, oh my gosh, their house is so pretty. I love, you know, I want to go visit their house in real life, like, in the movie. And, like, their house has just always been, like, the coolest, one of the coolest things about the Cullens is their house. But it's weird to think now that that was Esme. Esme designed it and built it, maybe. He didn't really say that, but he just said, like, in the future, maybe that will be one of her blueprints. So it's, like, weird to think, like, okay, that, like, that's what Esme does. That's how her brain works. I don't know. I just thought that was a really cool tidbit. But I will say one thing I forget about the Twilight books, because, guys, I haven't read them in forever, is that the chapters are very big. Like, I think there's only, like, 29 chapters. Like, yeah, so there's 29 chapters. I'm on chapter 12, but, like, the chapters are so long that it's like, even just reading one chapter, I feel like I have done something. I've put a chunk into the book. So if I could come home and read another chapter, I will feel like I've accomplished something. Open this. Alright, so I thought I got 3 books. Maybe it's just 2. Anywho, while I try to figure out, I thought I got 3 books, and there's only 2 here. So we got Sharp Objects. This is used. So if you don't know what thrift books is, it's either you can get books used or brand new. But this was $2.99. Yes. So I've heard this is really, really good. Not really sure what it's about, but I've heard everybody talk about it, so I got it. So I guess my other book hasn't came in yet, but then I got the American Sign Language Dictionary. Includes more than 500 new signs and 1,500 new illustrations. So, I want to learn sign language. It's something that I wanted to since I went to Israel. So it's just got like the alphabet. I think this is going to be so much fun. Okay, so this is me checking in. I haven't updated you guys in like a couple days. I'm so sorry. I had a wedding to go to. I've had school. My boyfriend just moved into his new house, so I've been helping him move. I've honestly had no time to pick up my book, but I'm reading a little bit right now. On page 502, so they just finished the baseball game, and you guys know what's about to happen. And also I wanted to say, like, I want a book with everybody's, like, in-depth background stories. Like, I've been watching this thing that it's not Twilight official, but it's like somebody made videos or like mini movies of the backstories of all the other characters in Twilight. And like the one they made for Alice was like so good. I'm like, that needs to be a book. Alice needs her own book of just her story so I can hear her thoughts. Anywho, so that's one thing I wanted to note, is that I need a book just of Alice. But then I'm getting to the part about Jasper. So the other vampires just arrived, and so Jasper can control emotions or whatever, and it says that he was smoothing the tension surrounding the newcomers and making anyone looking in his direction feel singularly uninterested. Nothing could be duller than examining this nothing male at the back of the group, so unimportant. So he was making people feel that way when he looked at him. But then it says, and not just him, he was covering Alice, Esme, and Bella. So he's also protecting Alice, Esme, and Bella. He's like making them also look uninterested. So when the vampires look at them, and it's just like, I love Jasper. I need to know more about Jasper. Like, we know a little bit of his backstory, but I don't know. Jasper, he's just like, he's a homie. Like, he takes care of what he needs to take care of. I don't know, I just thought that line really made me happy, that he was also protecting Alice, Esme, and Bella. Now, of course, he doesn't need to protect Rosalie, because Rosalie is a bad bee. She can take care of herself, basically. But yeah, I just wanted to note that, also to get on here and say that I'm sorry that I haven't done any check-ins lately, and that I suck at vlogging, and yeah, I apologize. I also wanted to say this, I forgot to say it, but he also says that this is why none of them had realized yet, not because of Bella's disheveled hair or ridiculous tapping. They couldn't cut through the sense of overwhelming mundaneness to look at her closely. I remember reading Twilight and watching the movies. I've watched the movies more than I've read the actual books. Like, I've probably read the books twice. I've watched the movie like 20 times, more than 20, like 50 is how much I've watched the movies. And I always wondered, I was like, they're freaking vampires. How do they not notice immediately Bella's human? How do they not smell her immediately? Or not, how did it take them so long to catch on she's not a vampire? Well, it also says that, and that's why he said, like, this is why none of them had realized yet to look at her closely. I was like, that explains it, because I've always wondered, like, you know, how come just putting her hair down was enough for them to not sense it until the wind blew and her scent got over there? Like, how did they not know? So I guess with Jasper doing that, that's why they didn't even want to look in her direction, which I guess makes sense, but that just explains it. Like, explains it a way more. Like, have you guys watched the movies, what is it called, Insidious? Like, Insidious 1, you watch it, and you're like, oh, there's ghosts, things are moving, there's sounds, doors are shutting, this is creepy, this is scary, what is it? And then, like, Insidious 2, they go back, and it basically explains that it wasn't really ghosts, it was, like, the people on the other side moving the chairs, and it shows them moving the chair, but then you remember in the first book, oh, that's why the chair moved, and it's, like, this whole connection. That's how I feel with this book, it's, like, remember seeing all these things, and it's like, why did that happen? Why did that not go a different way? Well, now we know why it didn't go a different way. Like, the reason why they didn't notice Bella is because of Jasper. So Jasper's a homie, and yeah, I just needed to make that little point. So I'm now on page 588, and it's to the part where they're heading to the hospital. And this is another thing from the book and movies that I've always wondered, because I'm pretty sure she's asleep, like she's not awake right now, so I think she wakes up in the hospital. So it's cool to see now what's happening between now and the hospital, because I can't remember if I'm remembering this from the movie or from the books, but I think they ended up telling Charlie and her mom that she fell down a flight of stairs, something to do with a window, and that's how she got, like, destroyed. That's how she broke all of her bones or whatever. But it's now cool seeing, like, so right now Alice just took Emmett's sweatshirt, and, like, it's a big hoodie on her, and she went to the blood bank to get blood, And so that's what they're doing. And then the doctor that they're going to, Carlisle, knows him. So that's how they're getting her in there. So it's not a big deal. It's like, oh, hey, help a friend out, basically, kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see now what's happening between the fight scene and waking up in the hospital. This is what's happening. This is how they're planning on, I don't know, making everything seem like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. But in reality, it was a really big deal because it was vampires. But anywho, yep. So I think I might finish today. I have this much left. Thank goodness. But yeah. I should have finished this a week ago, but I didn't. But yeah, hopefully I'm going to finish it today and I can do a quick little summary. And then yeah, then I'm going to be reading Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. But yeah, we got to finish this first, so let's keep going. I just want to say that little tidbit that I think it's pretty cool that we're finally finding out what happened before the hospital. So I am just now reading it, and Alice is saying what is it? So Alice goes to a hotel and she acts like she's renting a hotel room for the night, and she's got the blood with her or whatever. So she, I guess, breaks a window. She breaks a window and she, I guess, puts blood on her to make it look like an accident happened. And she runs down to the front desk and says that somebody fell down. They're at the hospital now with a friend now, but the window, the glass, someone else could get hurt. Please, it should be cornered off until maintenance can clean it up. So that's how they set up the scene for it to be Bella is the one that fell down the stairs, broke the window, got hurt. Now she has to go to I closed my page. That's why she has to go to the hospital. Alright, checking back in. So, earlier, I'm pretty sure I mentioned how I want a book about Alice, and then I saw this video. I'm pretty sure it was uploaded to YouTube 2 years ago, but I watched it last week talking about the backstory of Alice and how we don't know Alice, but we do know. So, and it was the same as the thing. So, I'm really confused because this book came out, but that video came out 2 years ago. So I don't know if Stephanie released it somewhere or if somebody asked her, hey, what's the backstory of Alice? And she said it, because it's clearly not in the books that I remember. I really don't remember this being in the books. And if I do, I am so ashamed of myself for not remembering this. But basically, it's about Alice was in an insane asylum because she had visions, and they did these shock treatments. They would put this thing on her head and shock her. Alright, y'all. I just finished it. It was really great. I loved it. But yeah, my only thing is yes, I love Twilight. Twilight is probably one of the main books that got me into reading. I'd probably say there's 3 good book series that made me fall in love with reading, and Twilight is definitely one of those top 3. But I will say, we've had 3 Twilight books. We've had Twilight, then we've had Life and Death, which is basically Twilight, but the genders are reversed. And now we have Midnight Sun, which is Twilight, but from Edward's perspective. I loved it. It was so crazy to not only have Edward's perspective, but to hear everybody else's thoughts on certain things. I thought that was just really neat. I really loved it. But is she gonna do like all the other books? The one book I would love to read is New Moon from Edward's perspective, because he's barely in New Moon. But yeah, overall it was really great. I wish I would have read it faster. It took me way too long to get through it, but that is besides the point. I loved it. I can't wait to see what she does next, because again, she's probably one of my top 3 favorite authors, because she made me fall in love with reading books. But yeah, so another one down for the count. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below what your favorite chapters were, what your favorite moments were. If I left anything out that was like an amazing moment, it's probably because I was reading in bed at night and I didn't want to film myself, because I probably looked disgusting in bed with no makeup on, so I probably didn't film my reactions while I was reading, which is when I did most of my reading for this book, was at night. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe, comment below your favorite parts, or what other books you would like me to read and do like a reading vlog. I know this is probably super uneventful because most of the time I wasn't filming my reactions till like today because I had time and was able to. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.